explain version management and ABAP new syntax. Okay, so first let's see version management. So version management is nothing but it is a tool in SAP which is used to help us to track the changes which we made into a program or includes or a function module classes. So this will allow us to compare the code between two versions. So two versions in the sense, suppose there is a program which is already existed in the system. So imagine that you are working on a supporting project. So there is a program which is already existed in the system. So due to some changes in the production system, like they want some small change in the program. Suppose if you want to compare how the logic is existed in the development system and production, like quality or production system. So you need to compare two codes, right? So whenever you want to compare the codes, then we call it then we use the tool that is version management. So which will help us to compare the codes between two versions. Either you can check the version within the same system, or else you can compare the version from the development system to quality, or development to production, or quality to production. So you can compare any two. So whenever we require any change from the existing program, if it is not working properly in the production, but it is working fine in the development and quality. So at that time, we need to compare the code, how the code is existing in the production system. Some changes are there, so how it is behaving. If you want to know, just we can use version management. Okay. So the main purpose is we need to track and compare the code changes which we did in the development system, and as well as if you want to see the system landscape, we can also compare it with the help of this version management. So if you want to compare version management, then this is the path. You need to go to utilities from the menu bar, then there is an option called versions, and from that option we have to choose version management. So let me show you that. Suppose this is a program I have written simply, I will show you this one. And after that, how I did this change, I'll show you. Okay. Suppose this is a program. So some logic is there here. And I want to check the version. So right now, we don't have the system landscape like quality and production. We have only development. So what I do, within the development for the same program, how many versions are done, I will check it. So versions are done is nothing but, suppose I written this logic. Okay. So after a period of time, this logic is not working as expected, so they need some change in this logic, or they need some additional logic in the program. So at that time, again I have to make the changes into the same program, right? So if you want to compare the previous program, how it was existed, and after the new change, how the program is existed, if you want to compare it, then you have to go to utilities. So this is the path I have written. Utilities after versions. So utilities, versions, version management. See, so let me show you utilities. So you can take any program, versions, version management. And here see, two versions are there. Okay, let me show you one normal program. So before this, so that you will understand, I'll take a program. Suppose this is the old program. Let's take ours one. Okay, so this is our program which I have used for ALV report. So same path I will check it. Suppose, is there any version for this program? So what I have to do, I have to go to utilities. One second. Somewhere. Okay. So utilities, versions, version management. And if you see, only one active version is there, because after I written the program, again I did not do any changes. And also whenever we check the version management, if your task is released, then only we can compare two versions. Meaning, whenever we develop an object in the development system, we have to move to quality for further testing, right? So at that time, how our code will be moved to the quality system? See, this is our program. So once I will do the development, after our unit testing, if it is working fine, then we will inform to the functional consultant, like I did the unit testing, it is working fine, you can test it. So once they test successfully in the development system, then we will move to the quality system. So do you have any idea how our code will be moved to the quality system? Any idea? Okay. So do you remember transport? What is the use of transport request? Whenever we create a program, always we are selecting or we are saving into a package and selecting a TR. So what is the purpose of the TR or transport request? Any idea? Mm-hmm. No idea. Okay. So this is SC09 transaction code and this is my user ID. Okay. So I'll see whatever the workbench requests are there for my user ID. Okay. So I'll click on display. So if you see, there are two checkboxes. One checkbox is with the name of modifiable, the other one is released. So modifiable is nothing but this transport request is not yet released. So whatever the transport requests are there, those are still sit in the development system. Those we call it as a modifiable. And if you want to see those, just click on display. And afterwards, I'll tell you the released one. And if you see, these are the transport request. And if I expand this one, so this is the main tier. Whatever you are seeing the first line, so that is nothing but main tier. So we can also call it as a parent tier. If I expand this one, you can see there is one more tier with the same sequence number 754. If you see, the ending number is 755. So this tr we call it as a sorry, child tr. Okay. So whenever okay, let me expand this one. So if I expand this tr, whatever the developments I did, those all will be stored in this main tr. Okay, so if I expand, the sub tier will be open. If I expand the sub tier, which object I have developed? I have developed a report. You can see report source code is there. If I expand it, this is my program name. If I double click on this one, see, my program is existed. So this is the way our code will be stored in the TR. So whenever you want to move your code changes from development to quality system, how you will move? With the help of transport request only. 1,000 lines of code. How that code will be moved to the quality and production system? That is with the help of TR, transport request. So that is nothing but transporting. We are transporting our changes from development to quality, quality to production. If I show you, let me show you one more. So we did this one. So I always used to save in this tr. So let me show you this one. So this is the main tr which is ending with 626. Okay. And if you see under there is a child tr. And what is the text here? Development or correction. So here I did the development or any changes. If I expand this one, see, with the help of this transport request, I have created table definitions, see, and I have created technical attributes. I have created, I think some classification it has taken, any value. And classes I have created, see, event handler method. And this is the package I have created with the help of the same TR. And whatever domains I created, see, these are the domains I have created. Data element, and interface programs. So if I see these programs, all I have saved in the same TR. Suppose if I want to see this program, I'll just double click on it. It will navigate to the program SC38. So in this way, the objects which we save under the TR, those will be carried into the same TR. Like whenever we create an object, we always, I always used to tell you, save in a transport request, because if you habituate from now onwards, then when you join in a project, you should always save all whatever the objects you are going to create, that must be saved in a package and transport request. So then only it will move to quality and production. So see, each object whatever I have created under this TR, that is captured. Even table also there, see table. So these are the tables I have created. So this way our objects will be carried into the transport request. So once your development is finished, suppose my development is finished. Let me scroll up this one. What's happening? Okay. So let me close this one. Okay. So once your development is finished, you need to test it. So that is development testing. So that we call it as a unit testing. Once your unit testing is done successfully, we will move to quality. So we need to tell to the functional owner, and if they confirm the changes are looks good in the development system, then we will move to quality. So at that time, before we move our changes to quality system, we need to release the task. So this we have to do every time. Suppose if you have developed a program, once it is done successfully testing the development system, you will getting an information from the functional owner. You need to move to quality system. So whenever we move to quality system, we need to release the TR. So directly we should not release the TR. So this is the main TR, right? Suppose I don't release this one. I believe this is released. Okay. So this TR, so if you see, this is the TR, and in this TR two tasks are there. So whenever you want to release a TR, first you need to release child TR. Okay, so child TR is nothing but these inside. When you expand the main TR, whatever the child TRs are there, those you need to release it. And always remember which TR is belongs to your user ID, only you need to release those TRs, because our changes should be released from our side. Suppose imagine that there is a complex requirement where it should create a report program, as well as it need a function module and PAPI. So if it is a complex requirement, what they will do, they will distribute this work. So one object should be done by one person, one object should be done by other person. So based on the priority of the object, they will assign to us. Suppose in this case, imagine that this is a high priority ticket where they have to do within 2-3 days of time. So at that time, instead of giving all these changes, like all these objects to one person, they will distribute to multiple persons. Imagine that they have assigned these three objects to three people, but they have given only for each object we will create like one for each ticket we will be give there will be giving a one TR. Now for this ticket, only one transport request is there, but three members has to do the development under the same transport request. So at that time, what we have to do? We need to create the task. So to create the task, you need to go to the request, like you need to take the transport request. Then here we will be having add user. So here, if you add user, under the transport request, your name will be added, so you can save your changes into the same transport request. And once your development is finished, you need to release it. Now in this scenario, three members are done, right? Suppose I did one development, so whatever I did the development, I need to release the task. So before we move to the quality system, we need to release the task. So to release the task, imagine that this second TR is a main TR which has given from the tier. Okay. Now I need to release the task. So S4 Han 26 is there, right? So this is my user ID. So if you see, some other user IDs are there like 5, 16, 11, 14. So I should not touch them. So this is the change I did from my system. So I need to release this one only. So to release this one, place the cursor on the child tier, and here there is a truck symbol. Click on that. Now see, it is released. So once it is released, it will be moved to the quality system with the TOC process, and our code changes, we can check it in the quality system. So once you release this one, even you can compare development system code and quality system code with the help of version management. Whether your changes are moved to quality system or not, you can also cross check in that way. So now, so for this program, only once I have created, again I did not make the changes. And this program is created under one tier, and that tier is not yet released. So that is the reason I couldn't see, this is the tier I have used. This tier is not yet released. If it is released, you can find this check mark. Okay. If you find a check mark near a task, then that tier is released. Task is released. Okay. So if it is done, then only we can compare two versions of the code changes. But as of now, if you see, this transport is not yet released. So that is the reason I couldn't find two transport versions. So let's create a two transport request and we'll see this version management. Okay. So just like this. So I'll go back. Suppose I'll take Z some to version management 1. Version management 1. So I'll choose the type as executable program. I will save it. I will save in the package. I will create a new tier. Okay. So to create a new tier, you can go to AC09 transaction code, or else directly you can click on create request from here. Now, version management program 1. So, okay. Okay, so we are inside the program. Now let's write a few lines of code. So here only I will complete this inline declaration so that I can tell you at the same time this topic and as well as this topic. Okay, so this is the additional topic which I'm going to explain you, even version management also. So this inline coding is nothing but like till now we have created the program, right? If you want to create an internal table, we used data keyword. Before we create an internal table, we used to create a structure, right? So this is the way we created the internal table work areas. So if you want to create a structure, first itself we used to create it with the help of types keyword. So whenever we want to create um, with a new syntax or inline code, we no need to declare first itself explicitly internal tables or variables or structure. Whenever it requires, on the flow itself we can declare. So that is possible with the help of new syntax. So this new syntax can be used from ABAP 7.4 version. So whenever we practice in our server, you need to check what is the version of our ABAP. If it is 7.4 version or more than 7.4 version, then we can use new syntax. So if we are using new syntax, then what about old syntax? I think everybody's having this question in your mind, right? So we can also use old syntax or new syntax, depends. If you are like if you are comfortable with old syntax, you can use old syntax. That is not an issue, because old syntax is not yet removed anything. Also you can use new syntax, or else you can use old and new together. So that is up to you. But I just wanted to show you, because when I joined in a project, almost I have seen internal tables, work areas, field symbols, variables, they have created on the flow itself. First, explicitly they did not declare in this way. Suppose let me open any program. So if you see this program, internal table I have created explicitly. Work area, one more internal table, work area, and structure. So if you see, I created everything first itself. Before I use them, I have created first. Before using the internal table, I declared the internal table. Before selecting the fields from the database table, I have defined the structure, right? So this is the old way of writing the ABAP code. So in the new way, what we have to do, we need to write on the flow itself, meaning whenever I want to use, at the time only I will define it. No need to define separately in one line. So that is added advantage. So with the help of new syntax, we can reduce the number of lines of code in our program. It is not mandatory to use only old syntax or new syntax. See, it depends on you. If you are comfortable with new syntax, you can follow this one, or else you can use mixed. So I'll just use two things together, because like whenever we want to declare a variable separately, we don't need to create it. On the flow itself, we can declare it. Okay, so we can also use old syntax as well as new syntax, but new syntax will be applicable from ABAP 7.4 version. So you, whenever you join in a project or whenever you are practicing, you need to know which system version you are using. So for that, go to system from the menu bar and click on status. Here you can see product version is there. Click on details and you need to see SAP ABA. So this is belongs to ABAP, and 7.5G is there, right? So this is nothing but 7.5 version. So it is more than 7.4. So 7.4 or 7.5, the new syntax can be used. Suppose if it is less than 7.5, or sorry, less than 7.5 or 7.4, then what will happen? Whenever you write the new syntax, system cannot be recognized. It's like a new feature. It is applicable from the latest version only. Like in our mobile, like 4G has different features, 5G has a different features, right? So with the help of 4G, you cannot access 5G features. Similar way, in the old version, you cannot achieve the new syntax of ABAP. If it is 7.4 version or more than 7.4 version, then you can use new syntax. Okay, so you can check the version in this way. Now our practice server is more than 7.4, so we can use new syntax in our practice server. So let's create in this. So we have seen this one. Okay. So it can be work both in ECC and S4HANA systems, but you need to check the version. It should be 7.4. If it is less than 7.4, you cannot access the new syntax. Okay, so now I'm going to explain inline code, or else I can say inline data declarations. Okay, so this is nothing but new way of declaring the variables or internal tables, work areas, any data medium. So in old way of declaration, what we did, first itself we declared everything like internal tables or structure, work area. So first itself we declared it. So this will increase the number of lines in our program. So to avoid this, SAP came up with a new feature. So whenever we require a data medium, on the flow itself is nothing but at the same time, whenever we want to use the data medium in the same line itself, you need to declare it, you need to assign the value. So because of this, we can reduce the number of lines of the code. Okay. And to declare any variables or any data medium using inline declaration, we use data keyword only. Like if you want to declare internal table, work area, variables, we use data declare. Data is a keyword, right? Declarative keyword. So similar way, we need to use data declarative keyword. Now let's create a simple program first. So first I'll create a simple program like I'll okay, data. Suppose I will create a character data type and I will assign a name. Okay, so for that, what I have to do, LV name. I need a variable first. LV name type char 20. I gave like this. And if I want to assign the value, here itself I need to assign it, or else I can assign in a separate line. Okay, instead of this, let me take another one. So let's add two numbers so that you can understand how many lines have reduced with the inline declaration. Okay, so first I'll use old syntax, old way of writing logic. Okay, so now I'll declare a variable like I need to add two numbers and I will store in a variable to show the result. So how many variables I require? I need three variables. So two variables for the input, one variable to display the output. So LV num type I, suppose value 10, and LV num2, this is also input, type I value 20. Let me give here this one. So two inputs are there. Now once I add it, I need to store in a variable. So LV result. This is for output. Type I. Now how can I add it? LV result is equal to. So once I add these two numbers, that should be stored the value in this variable. So with the help of assignment operator, we can assign the value to this variable. So here I can write LV num1 plus LV num2. Now once I add these two numbers, so in this variable which value is there? 20. In this variable which value is there? 10. And 20 plus 10, 30. So that value will be passed to this variable with the help of equal symbol. So to display in the output screen, I need to use write statement, write slash LV result. Here let me write a statement, sum of two numbers. Okay, I'll say check. So this way already we know. So till now we have used this way only. Now I'll use inline declaration. Okay, so here inline declaration. So inline declaration, what I said, whenever we want to use that particular data medium, we can define it on the flow itself. So what is my requirement? I need to add two numbers and I have to store in a variable to display in the output screen. So I need two variables, right? And here I'm assigning the value 20 and 10. Same thing I'll do. So for inline declaration, the declarative keyword is data. And we have to use brackets. Whenever you are defining a variable or a data medium, you have to put brackets. Okay, so this is nothing but we are declaring a data medium. Data, this brackets indicates you are declaring a variable. Suppose I want to declare the variable lvnum. So here let me have lvnum. One I cannot take, so I'll take lvn1. So this is the first variable. Okay, and the value I'm giving as 10. So here I'm not declaring which data type it is. So based on our value, it will take it, the particular data type. So you don't need to define type I, type C, you don't need to give explicitly. So this will be recognized. Depends on the value which we are assigning, it will recognize it. Now I need one more input variable, lvn2, and which value I want to give, suppose 20. Now after giving the input, I need to add these two numbers, then I will store in a output variable. So I have to add it, right? So let me have a formula here, lvn1 plus lvn2. So where this value should be stored, this value should be stored in the result. So I need to take one more variable. So before I declare it, like earlier, if I want to add the two numbers, what I did, first I have declared it and I have assigned the value. Now what I'm doing, at the same time I'm creating the variable and assigning the value, and still I haven't created the third variable to store the result. So whenever we do this calculation, at that time only we will get the result, right? So before itself I haven't created the result variable. Now I will create it. So again, data lv, or let me have lv output, because same variable I cannot give, equal. See, only 3 lines of code. And here I can write a write statement, write lv result, oh, sorry, lv output. So earlier what I did, I have defined it, and I have like I did the data manipulation, I displayed it. But with the help of inline declaration, see, whenever I require, at the same time I have defined the object. Oh, sorry, I have defined the data medium. See, after adding these two numbers, immediately I have to store in a variable. So whenever I store in a variable, I have to define before itself. If you see here, suppose let me comment the previous one. See, two numbers I have added and I have stored in the result variable, right? Suppose I don't declare this one here, but I'm trying to access it. It will get a error that is unknown. See, LV result is unknown. So this line almost same. See, this line and 12th line. 12th and 18th line, see, LV result I declared first, then I have added the result into LV result. Now, if you see 18th line, LV output I haven't written first itself. Whenever I want to store the value, in the same line itself, I declared it with the help of data keyword. So this we call it as a inline declaration. But it is not showing any error for the 18th line. See, it is showing error for the 12th line, but no error for 18th line. Whenever we want to use that particular data medium, on the same line itself, we can declare it with the help of inline declaration. So in this way, we no need to write explicitly what is the data type and the variable name first itself. That is not required. And if you see, the number of code lines will be reduced if you are using on the flow itself. So let me activate this one. So 30, this is for normal way of coding which we have used till now, and this is the inline one. So similar way, we can write internal tables and work areas as well. So let's see that one. So I'll go to a program. Um, Suppose this is a program. Okay, so this program I have created in the past for the internal table operations, right? So here I am fetching the data from the Kenya1 table and I am storing into an internal table. So before I store into this internal table, what I did first, I have declared it. I have declared the internal table and work area before I need to fetch the data from the database table. I declared it, right? So once I declared, then only I can able to use that internal table or work area or a variable. It is same with any data medium. Before I use it, I need to define it. Otherwise, system will throw a syntax error which says unknown. So that is the reason we used to declare first itself, but it will reduce, it will increase the number of lines. So we have a inline declaration, so we can declare on the flow itself. So that we'll see now. um what I'll do, so I'll comment these two lines, internal table IT Kenya1 and work area Kenya1. I'm going to comment these two, and let's see. So I have commented internal table and work area. I will save it and let's check. It will give a syntax error. Okay, what's happening? Let's wait. Okay, so I'll check it. I think server is a bit low. See, errors are there. IT Kenya1 is unknown. LT Kenya1, so there is a name with LT Kenya1 and work area Kenya1 is unknown because I have commented it. Now what I'll do, I don't declare first itself IT Kenya1. So that is the reason I have commented it. So I will declare in the same line itself. Like whenever where we are using this internal table, in the same line, I will declare it with the help of data keyword. So let's see. Okay. So whenever we are declaring internal table, always remember we have to use @ symbol. Whenever we are declaring internal table, we have to use @ symbol. Okay. Uh, it's slow again. Let me open that program. Okay. Every screen, same situation. Let's wait. Can anyone check your server? Is it same with you?
Yes, Neha.
Let me check with them. Okay. So mm. so in this program, before using this internal table in the old way of syntax, I used to declare first. So what I did just now, I just commented this one. So whenever I need to use the internal table, I tab again, it became slow. CSM, I tab. Okay. So I believe this is other program. Okay, fine. Let me comment this one. So I'm going to comment this internal table and work area. So whenever I want to use it, the same internal table, I will declare in the same line. So whenever we want to declare internal table, always remember we have to use at the rate. And what is the declarative keyword we have to use? Data and bracket. So within the bracket, you can declare the name. Like whenever we used to declare a variable, we used to write data and data media name. Suppose if it is an internal table, itkna1. If it is a variable, lv num1. Like that, how we are giving the name. Similar way, whenever you are declaring using inline declaration, within the bracket, you need to specify a variable name or internal table name, work area name. So which data medium you want to declare, that name you have to specify within the bracket. So the declarative keyword is data. If it is a variable, you can write in a normal way like data keyword. Within the bracket, you can specify the variable name. If it is a work area, also same thing. But whenever you want to use internal table, you need to use this at the rate symbol. Okay, suppose I'll save this one. I'll check it. Now you don't get so you are getting an error that the element select list is must separated using commas, meaning whenever you are using inline declaration your select query, each and every field after you have to put the comma. It is clearly showing here. See, the elements in the select list must be separated using commas. So whenever we are using inline declaration, see, I haven't declared this internal table itkn1. See, it is commented. So on the flow is nothing but at this point of time I need to store in this internal table. So in the same line itself, I declared with the help of data keyword. So whenever we are using inline declaration of select query, you need to separate each and every field with comma. See, for the last field not required. Now I'll save it. I'll check it. And now one more error is there. See, the variable p land1 must be escaped using this operator. So meaning Whenever we have a where condition with the select options or parameters, those must be um, start with the prefix of @ symbol, so that system will recognize this is belongs to a parameter or a select option. Otherwise it cannot be recognized in the inline declaration. Whenever you are declaring, it is not required to use here @ symbol, but whenever you are using in the select query, you need to write @ symbol, otherwise it will give a syntax error, because we are using inline declaration, right? So in this inline declaration, uh, this variables, or I can say select options or parameters, those can be recognized with the help of @ symbol, and the fields must be separated with comma. If it is not separated with comma, system cannot be recognized, because this is the syntax. Whenever we want to fetch the data from the database table using inline declaration, we have to follow this one. Select field 1 comma field 2 comma field 3 from database table into table @ data internal table name, where your condition, suppose in your input screen land 1 is there, so where land 1 is equal to p land 1. So whenever you are writing your input options, you need to start with @ symbol. So I'll save this one. Now work area is unknown, it will be give, because as of now work area I haven't created, but till here there is no error. See, from here to here there is no error. So earlier what I did, I used to declare the internal table work areas first itself. Now what I did, whenever I want to use the internal table, in the same line itself, I have declared the internal table. I have used it, and as well as I declared in the same line. So this extra line is not required. And same way, I will declare for work area. Now work area is unknown because here I have commented, right? Now where I'm using work area in this program, here only. So in this line itself, I will declare the work area. So how can we declare the work area? Same with the data keyword, data within the bracket, you need to write your work area name. So you no need to declare type, which type of this work area. System will recognize. I'll save it. I'll check it. Now see, no syntax errors. So this will reduce our work and reduce the program lines, and it is easy to read the program. So this way we use inline declarations in our program. If you're comfortable with this new way of declaring the data mediums, you can use this one, or else you can use the old way. But whenever you find @ symbol and this data keyword with any data medium, you need to understand, okay, this is the logic they have used as an inline declaration. Okay, any doubts in this?
Yeah. How it takes the structure? If there are two structures used, na? Internal table
So
is mm,
yeah, so your question is correct. Whenever we have a structure, right? So without this structure also we can write the logic. Without this structure also we can write the logic based on the selected fields. The system will create the structure, so it will be recognized based on these fields. Whenever we are using inline declaration, whatever the fields we are fetching, right? So based on these fields, it will create a structure, and for that structure only we are creating a internal table or work area on the flow itself. See, here I have created the internal table, right? So this internal table is created based on which fields? These fields. So our work area will also create based on these fields only, because there is a connection between our internal table and work area. Okay,
yeah.
any questions? Let me find for a program joins. Okay. So this is the joins program. In this program, we have joined VBAK table 3 fields and VBAP table 2 fields. See, VBAK and VBAP. So first 3 fields from VBAK table and next 2 fields from VBAP table. So before I fetch this data, what I did, I created the structure and I created an internal table in work area. After that, I fetched the data from the database tables, right? Now I'll write the logic using inline declaration. So let me have a commented line, inline data declarations. So let me write the logic first and afterwards I will explain it, okay? Select from um, VBAK as a inner join VBAP as B. On which basis I want to join? So we need a condition, right? So one common field is required, that is Veblen from the header table. So that is equal to item table Veblen. And the fields I need, suppose from the header table, I need Veblen. I need a separator here. Separator. So same fields. Let me take Veblen after ER data. Okay. Then VB type. VB type. Then from VBAP, postnar, and then matnar. B matnar. Suppose if I have a condition where, okay, where this condition is there. Okay. Where Veblen is equal to, so Veblen is existing in the both tables, so we need to specify it explicitly. So where VBAK Veblen is equal to input parameter is P. So if it is input parameter, we have to use @ symbol, P Veblen. And after fetching these table fields, we need to store into table. And let me have an internal table that is LT data. Now, what I'm going to do here, I want to fetch 3 fields from the header table and 2 fields from the item table, because I want to join these tables based on which condition? Based on Veblen. So in the header table, we have a field called Veblen in the VBAK table, and the same field is existing in the VBAP table. So based on this condition, I'm going to join these 5 fields data. So for that, what I did, I have used inline declaration. So earlier, if I want to join tables data, first I need a structure. Now see, there is no structure. So instead of structure, what I did directly, I have selected from. Earlier, if I want to write select query, first how I used to write select field 1, field 2, field 3, field 4 from table. Now look at my syntax. Select from, first itself we are selecting from VBAK, and alias name is nothing but A, shortcut. And we are joining, inner joining one more table VBAP. So alias name is B. On which basis you want to join? Based on the common field from VBAK and VBAP. So here you can see there is a keyword fields. So with the help of this keyword, without structure, I can fetch the data from the database table. So I have declared these are the fields I want to fetch from the database table. So whenever I create an internal table on the flow itself, it will create a template based on these fields only. So let me comment this one. I'll show you the output. So with the old way, let's see the output, and later on I'll comment the old one and let's see the new one to show you the difference. So with 4, 2 records are there. Okay. Now I'll uncomment this one. Now let me comment all these lines. So these all not required. See, structure, declaration for the internal table and work area, this select query. So from 9th line to 20th line, I replaced with these many lines. Look at the code, how minimal. From here to here, how many lines of code is there? Those all I replaced with a single statement. See, there is no dot. From here to here, only one dot is there. So this is nothing but a single statement. So instead of multiple statements, I have used a single statement. Then I'll copy this one and I'll write it down. So I'll just show you. So work area is not yet defined. Let me change this one. LT out final, not LT data. My input name. Sorry, my internal table name. Now instead of work area final. So as of now, I haven't declared anything. Only parameter is defined. Okay. So other than parameter, I haven't defined with data keyword. On the flow itself, I have declared the internal table. And same way, I will declare the work area data, work area name. Suppose work area output. Now I'll replace all the work area, work area final with work area output. Replace all. So I have replaced it. Okay. So save, check. Okay, here it should be N. Activate and I will execute. Input is 4. See, no difference in the output. Earlier same two records are there, now also same two records are there. Now look at my code. How many lines of code I have written here? From 45 to 67. Earlier, how many lines of code is there? See how minimal it is with inline declaration. So this is to reduce the number of lines of code in our program. Mainly we use on the flow itself. If you want to declare, then we can use inline declaration. If you are not comfortable with this one, you can go for the old syntax. Any doubts in this? Okay, now let's come to the point. So this is done, and not only declarations of internal table work area, even though if you want to fill the database table, like if you want to fill the internal table and work areas, we have various operators like value operator, COND operator are there. So those all you can explore it. Even I'm also exploring those because this is a new syntax. Most of them are using for the declarations, but if you want to know more about this indirect declarations, please explore it. Even I'm also exploring this one. Okay, just I just wanted to know how the declarations we use with the help of inline declarations. So not only for this one, even for the conditions, if statement, case statement, to fill the internal table, we have various conditions are there. But those all are not mandatory to use in our project, in our program. Which is easy one for you, you can use that one. But at least you need to aware. If you find anywhere this type of code, you need to know, okay, this is the inline way of declaration. Okay, I know. But if I don't say this one right now, if you are joining a project and if you see this code, you cannot understand. So that is the reason I'm telling you now itself. Okay, now I'll come to version management. So I have saved this one, not this one. Where is our first program? So this is our first program, right? I have activated this first program, which is a version management one. Okay, now this tr, I will find out the tr. Mm, did I open SC09? No. Okay, let me open SC09 transaction code. SC09, and so this is my tr. So whenever you want to release this tr, first you need to release the sub tr, then you have to release the main tr. Okay, so in few projects we don't release the main tr. Like we will do TOC, like transport of copy will do, and few projects we will release the main TRS as well. So that is depends on the project, but you need to know how to release it. Okay, so you need to release the sub TR first. Place the cursor on the sub TR and click on this release directory. Now see, this task is released. So if this task is released, we can release the main tier. Now I am releasing the main tier because I wanted to show you two versions of the program. Okay, now once your sub tiers, whatever the task under the main tier is there, those all you need to release it first. Once it is released, you can release the main tier. Now I am releasing the main tier. Same process. Place the cursor and release it. Now see, it is disappeared from here. So once your main tier is released, it is disappeared from the modifiable and it was added on the released status. See, version management one management program one. Earlier it was in the modifiable status. Now where it went, it is went under the released status. So once your TR is released, that is comes under released status. So if I go back and if I select this release status, I can able to see the TRs which are modifiable. So which are under the modifiable, this transport request you can use it. But which TR is released status, this transport request you cannot use it. So let's see. This is a transport request, right? So this transport is already released. If it is released, you cannot save any program under the released status tr. You need to create one more new task. Remember that you need to release one. You need to create one more new transport request. So that is the reason you need to check it whether the transport request is modifiable statement or release statement. If it is released status, that particular transport request cannot be used for the new development. If it is under the released status, it is not used for the new development. Always remember. Now, uh, this is our program, okay, for the one which I released the TR. So in this program, I have added the two numbers. Now imagine that in the project, there is a program where they are fetching a particular sales category, sales document category details from the report. So after some period of time, they want to change the sales document category. Okay, so at that time, if you want to see the previous version of the program, you need to compare it, right? So before you are comparing, you need to change it. This version, like whatever the additional changes you want to do, you need to change in the program. So for that, you need to go to the change mode. Now I went to the change mode. Now instead of plus symbol, I am keeping minus symbol and I'll save it. See, once I save the same program, it is asking new transport request. This program, which I have released the TR, see, this is the one which I have released the TR. So whenever I want to make any change in the same program, generally earlier it wasn't asked any transport request. If you look at this program joins, this I created in the past. If I want to change this program, directly I can go to change mode and I will save it. If I save it, see, it is not asking the transport request because this program I have saved under a TR. The TR is still in the modifiable statement. So if it is a modifiable statement, you can do the changes. But if the TR is under the released status, and if you want to make any changes, that will be asked you to save a new TR. See, this transport request is released. Now I want to modify something in this program. So I did the change, and whenever I'm going to save, it is asking the transport request. So let me create a new transport request. So this is for version management 2. So just I wanted to show you the two versions, so I have written in this way. So I have saved in a new transport request. I will activate it, and same thing, I will release this one also. So to release this one, uh, go to AC09 transaction code and display mode. So see, look at this transport request which I have created just now, version management 2. So this version management 2 transport request, where it is existed under modifiable. Now if you look at the release status, how many are there? Version management 1, program 1 and N1 is there. If I release this version management 2, this transport request will be added under the release status. So let's do this one. If you want to release it, you need to release first task. So this one we can say task or sub tier or child tier. Okay, you need to release first this one. Place the cursor, click on release directory. So if it is released successfully, I will release the main tier. Now see, it is disappeared from here, from the modifiable status. If I go to release status, see, version management 2. So where it is added? Under the released status. Now I will compare the program because two transport requests are released. So we can check the versions. So to check the versions, what I have to do? I need to go to the program, utilities, versions, version management. See how many versions are there here? Version management. So this is the active status which is existed, and this is the released one. If you want to check the previous one, select this box, checkbox, and click on display. So if you click on display, which is the older version, that will be displayed. So this is the latest version. Version management 2 is there. So I'll check this one. Version management 1. So in the first program, I did addition. See, I did addition, but still I have changed the program. But even you can find the changes. Like before I make the changes, how program was there, plus symbol is there. For the same program, I made the change with minus symbol, but still we can able to see the changes, how the old program is existed, and after I changed it, how the new program is existed. So both, how can you find out? With the help of version management. So you can find out the two versions, before you made the change, after you made the change. But if you want to compare at a time, suppose I'll check this one. So this is the latest version only, so I'll take this one. So if you want to compare, select the check boxes, and there is a button compare, click on that. See, two programs you can see in the parallel, at the same time you can see two programs parallelly. So one is for the old version, the other one is, this is a new version, this is the old version one. So you can see the transport request also here. And so where is our change? Earlier it was plus, in the new one it was minus. So which is same, that is not highlighted, which is a different logic, that is highlighted with the color. See, 16 17 lines are same in the both versions, so both are not highlighted with any color. But 18th line is different. In old version I did addition, in the new version I did subtraction. See, it is highlighted. So this is the way you can trace out where the changes are done in the old version and new version with the highlighted lines. Suppose, so this one I checked within the development system two versions. Suppose if you want to compare with a quality system or production system, you need to select the active version. Here there is an option called fetch remote versions. Click on that, and here under the target system, you need to select it. Right now it is a practice server, so we can find only one system, that is development system. But if you are joining a project, you will be getting here development, quality, production. Suppose if you want to compare quality system, you need to select the system. Okay, so imagine that this is a quality system, and once it is done, click on continue. So this is the practice server. We don't have a remote connection to connect with the other system, but in real time you don't get this one. Okay, once you select the system name, automatically it will show you one more line with the same this way, like how the first line is existed. Similar way, you will get the same program in the quality system, and you need to select the two programs from development and quality. Click on compare so that it will be displayed. Suppose if there is no change, see, if the same program is existed in the development and quality, then you will get this type of message, like there are no difference in the source code of these versions, meaning both the systems are having same type of logic, there is no difference. Suppose if there is a change, if there is a change, then you will be getting where there is a change, that line will be highlighted with a color. So in this way you can recognize it. So mostly we use this one, version management. Even whenever our changes are moved to quality system, if our changes are reflected into the quality system or not, we can compare with the development system. So this is a widely used concept where user list version management mostly we use in the real time. Any doubts still here?
Sneha.
Yes.